This is Systems Watch. We explain what's happening by looking at the systems underneath. Let's explore what happens after AI becomes cheaper than human labor. When work becomes cheaper without people, the economy does not collapse overnight. It quietly reorganizes itself. Offices still open, products still ship, services still run. But underneath, the system starts rewarding something different than before. That shift changes how jobs are priced, how companies hire, and how power moves through society. This is what happens after AI becomes cheaper than human labor. For most of modern history, human labor has been the default input of the economy. Machines existed, but they were expensive, specialized, and limited. People were flexible. People learned. People adapted. That balance held as long as hiring a person made economic sense. AI changes that equation, not because it thinks like a human, but because it works like capital. Once built, it scales. It does not sleep. It does not negotiate. And it gets cheaper every year. At first, AI does not replace workers. It shadows them. Companies deploy AI as assistants. Drafting, scheduling, customer support, data analysis, design, coding, planning. Humans still sit at the desk, but fewer are needed. Productivity rises without new hiring. This is the first visible change. Hiring slows. Not layoffs, not headlines, just fewer openings. Graduates struggle. Junior roles vanish. Internships shrink. The system absorbs this quietly. Wages flatten next. When output rises but hiring stops, bargaining power shifts. Employees ask for raises. Companies say no. They are not being cruel. They are responding to incentives. If AI can do 60% of the job at near zero marginal cost, human labor is now competing with something that does not need a salary. This is where many people misunderstand automation. Jobs do not disappear first. Pay does. As wages stagnate, the labor market feels tighter even though unemployment numbers look fine. People work harder for the same money. Stress rises. Mobility drops. The system still looks stable, but its buffers are thinning. Next comes role consolidation. Instead of 10 mid-level workers, companies keep 4 senior ones supported by AI tools. Skill ladders shorten. Career paths compress. Experience becomes valuable, but entry points vanish. This is especially visible in white-collar work. Law, finance, marketing, software, research, administration. Work that used to train the next generation now trains the machines instead. Meanwhile, profits rise. Not because companies are more greedy, but because cost structures change. Labor was variable and political. AI is fixed and scalable. Capital flows toward firms that adopt automation early. Market concentration increases. Smaller firms struggle to compete. This creates the second-order effect. Fewer employers control more output. When labor loses leverage and capital consolidates, inequality widens even if overall GDP grows. This is not new. It happened during industrialization. It happened with globalization. AI accelerates it. Governments respond slowly. Regulations lag technology. Training programs are announced. Res-killing initiatives launch. But retraining cannot outrun cost curves. You cannot res-kill millions of people faster than software improves. So the system adapts in other ways. Some workers move into roles that require trust, presence, or accountability. Care, education, physical services, human-facing work. These jobs remain human not because AI cannot do them, but because society prefers humans to be responsible when things go wrong. But these roles are harder to scale. They often pay less. At the same time, a small class of workers becomes extremely valuable. Those who design systems, control infrastructure, manage AI deployment, on data, on platforms. The labor market splits. One side competes with machines. The other side commands them. This division reshapes politics. When large groups feel economically stuck but statistically employed, frustration grows without a clear target. People blame institutions, immigration, corporations, technology, each other. Trust erodes before systems break. This is where policy pressure intensifies. Governments consider wage subsidies, reduced work weeks, universal basic income, public employment, AI taxes. None of these are simple. All of them shift who pays and who benefits. The core problem is not unemployment. It is misaligned value. The economy was built to reward labor. AI rewards ownership. If left unmanaged, this creates a feedback loop. Lower wages reduce demand. Lower demand slows growth. Slower growth increases political instability. Instability discourages investment in people. The system becomes efficient but brittle. However, this outcome is not guaranteed. AI also lowers costs dramatically. Goods become cheaper. Services become faster. Knowledge spreads. If productivity gains are shared, living standards can rise even as traditional work changes. The question is not whether AI replaces jobs. It already replaces tasks. The real question is who captures the surplus. History shows that systems can rebalance, but only after pressure builds. Labor laws followed factories. Welfare states followed industrial shocks. Global institutions followed world wars. AI will force another adjustment. The transition period is the risk. Too slow, and inequality hardens. Too fast, and institutions destabilize. This is why the most important effects of AI are not technical. They are systemic. AI does not decide outcomes. Incentives do. After AI becomes cheaper than human labor, the economy does not end. It reorganizes around different values. Work becomes optional for some, mandatory for others. Power shifts toward those who own systems, not those inside them. What happens next depends on choices that are still being made. The cost curve has already crossed. The response has not. And that gap is where the future is being shaped right now. This isn't about stopping technology. It's about understanding the systems it reshapes. Because the outcomes we get will reflect the incentives we choose to live with. If you want to understand how systems shape outcomes, subscribe to Systems Watch.